So before we begin, welcome to BrickTrains, and I'm Joey, by the way. We're going to do a little bit of updates on the layout and the AFT, but I do want to kind of mention the audio quality on this is just a little sketchy. It's a lot sketchy, but I did the best I could to fix it. I'm not wearing my wireless mic, partly because it's kind of I have it set up to be permanent over here. It's all attached to the camera. The problem with that is that means I'm not using a mic here, so I need to get another little one, something that works with the phone, because I'm using the phone. Sometimes I use the GoPro when I'm doing these handheld shots, if you will. I know I've seen several people go with these roads, including BrickTrains went with the road, but a couple other YouTubers I've noticed are using them. So I don't know, a little pricey. And I have spent a ton of money over the years on gear, so I'm a little gun shy on spending more money on gear. I don't know, we'll see. But sorry for that, and let's get on with it. So it's Monday, which means it's MOC Monday, right? So my biggest MOC project I got going on right now is the American Freedom Train right there. There's been a little bit of changes, a lot of minor stuff, so I'm probably not going to go into too much detail about that. But if you watch Jabbo, you notice that I did get a Pablo. I ordered some stuff from Jabbo, Brick Czar, if you don't know. And one of the things were these dark bluish rails. These things were right here. So these go back to the very beginning of Lego train history, except they were in blue. And I bought some that he had, and sorry, Jabbo, if I bought all your dark blue rails, but also bought some other stuff for another video that's going to be coming up, train related as well. So I thought I'm going to show a little bit of stuff that we're working on the layout itself, and we'll get what little things I've done to the AFT, the American Freedom Train here. Like I said, it's not been much. Just been kind of waiting on parts, and I've been doing that sit and think about it thing. We'll run the train, we'll look at it, what do we like, what do we don't like. I keep changing proportions. One of the things that has thrown me on these particular cars, I'm using a shorter base plate, the big ugly train base, but I usually use the giant one, the low cut one. Let's see, I usually use one of these train bases, which is significantly longer than the train base that I use that I'm using for the AFT. And I extend these out even farther, usually about 3 more rows of studs. So I did the same thing on these. I knew these were shorter. I was under no delusion that these were the same size. Extended these out. But what has happened is the length being a little shorter has thrown my height, and it's bothering me more than I thought. So I still want my train cars to be the same as the other trains that I have in the collection. They're just a little shorter, and to be perfectly honest, I'm having a hard time reconciling the shortness of the cars. So you guys probably would have never noticed it if I hadn't mentioned it. So let's take a look at what I'm doing with Jabbo's dark bluish gray rails. Kind of explain that. And we've got some other things to do here too. So you'll notice they're right there. I'm inserting them inside the track. I got run right here in this switch, my favorite switch. And then I'm running them along the inside of these rails. And what we're looking at here is the bridge. This is the bridge over the train layout, which kind of, this lets Dakota get in here and me to get into more of the area inside the layout. One of the things is when you have a layout as wide as mine, it's very hard to reach everything. And that's poor planning on my side. I should have not made it as deep as I did and as long as I did. And now, me being my 52 something years old, I have to duck under the bridge, which is, by the way, oh, this is the seal from the American Freedom Train, except it was way too large. Somebody messed that up too. And then Dakota stuck it to the thing. So we have these from Toys R Us. These are the banners that used to hang up above the shelving units and kind of hid storage. When they went out of business, we bought a bunch of those, and they go all the way around the train layout, and they help hide things under the train layout. So, okay, what are we doing with these rails? These rails right here. As you can see on the bridge, I'm sticking them inside this area right here. And what we're doing, or what my thought process is this is a guardrail. Not narrow gauge or anything like that, but a guardrail. And you'll see these guardrails. In fact, in here, you can see these little guardrails are built into the switches. And these are normally, you'll see these in switches and over bridges, you'll see. In fact, let's look at this picture here of a bridge. And you can see the guardrails running down inside, just inside the normal rails. And what they're used is just literally to help hold the flange in place. And then again, back here on the layout, you can see there's another guardrail. This is a Lego switch here. So they built in the guardrail. And then this is the third-party 3D printed one. And they've got the guardrails built in. And that was to keep the wheels on track, so nothing jumped the track. And I thought this was going to look pretty good. Here I've got one guardrail, because a lot of times in the switch frogs, they only have the one on one side, like here. But over a bridge, not every bridge, but a lot of bridges will have guardrails running down both sides, both insides of the main rails, and that's just to help kind of keep the trucks in place. So over our bridge, we have the guardrails. Now, this is the bulk of them that I bought from Jabo. I'm going over our light tower. There's the American Freedom Train. Back it up a little bit. And I think I got 4 more, and that'll finish the inside loop. I'll put them like that. And they fit perfect right here. Got 1 more for there. And 1 more for there. So now that gives us our guardrail. The only thing that I haven't figured out how to model is right here. They usually have a section where it kind of comes together. We can show that again in the bridge photo. Right here you can see where it kind of comes together like a little, I don't know, you don't call it a triangle, whatever, but that's to help slide the wheels in place. These are not re-railers. They were not intended to be re-railers. It's just simply intended to keep them on the track. So here I'm hoping it's more of an aesthetic. If the train's off the track, it's a whole lot easier just to stop it, pick it up, and then try and run it through a re-railer. I know at HO, there's a lot of times they have re-railers built into the tracks, and that's just to kind of keep everything going on HO trains. So that is what we're doing there. I think it looks pretty good. I can get that down low shot. Yes, I know the bridge is cluttered. There's even a ghost on the bridge. Let's look at our light. I'm not sure why there's a gun there, but we have birds of different vintage and lights and antennas. And somewhere, where's he at? There's a little monkey hanging off there. And of course, we have the BrickTrain logo. So here we go. Here's the AFT 1. I don't think there's a lot changed. There was a suggestion to change this to maybe white. There was white tubing Lego made. That's an interesting thought. We may do that. I still don't have the black piece for that. We did get the brass bell, so I'm pleased with that. I think it looks pretty good. This is all still unattached because I'm still working on it, right? We have not come up with the coal bunker yet. We've got to, got to build a coal bunker that's removable so we can get the battery in, because here's our battery box, or our battery box. Okay, this is the tender is going to house the motor and the batteries. And on the back side, let's see if we can flip this around. There's where our seal, I don't have a seal for the second side. Still working on that. I don't know what I'm going to do for stickers. Along with all these cars have stars on them. And a lot of them, not on these cars, but on a lot of the other cars, they have the American Freedom Train wrote at the top. So I have to leave space for that. Again, I've been doing some work. This is the, can't get it out. That's our Moonlander. It's pretty well done. I'm pretty happy with it. Whoops. Dump it off. This is the start of the fire engine. And this is just a start. I'm just tinkering with it. This is the first piece that's put together to kind of make that. And then this is the Freedom Bell, which is supposed to look like the Liberty Bell. The problem is that cone piece right there, that, what is that, a 4x4 cone, 2x2, then 4x4, does not come in pearl gold. It does come in yellow, so I'm not sure. I had a black one, and I'm using it as a placeholder. I don't know, not liking it yet, not liking it. But that's okay, I don't have to have it done yet, right? Moving on to the other display car, this is the map, or the start of the map. It was crazy. The map actually it was a cutout, so it looked like the United States. I'm thinking at some point, see if we get that focused a little better, we're going to do, it's just going to be a giant sticker. As far as that's my plan anyway, just a giant United States map sticker. These two cars are the first of the 20 some odd display cars that you would tour inside. And then these let's see if we can just get this off right there, pull that off. There's no weight on that car, so it doesn't have any stability. And this is the beginning or the beginning of the end of the press car, the tail car, the observation car, whatever you want to call it. So we've added a little bit of detail. We have put in this little piece here, just to kind of give it some, I don't know, a little bit of, to keep it from being so square. I didn't like it being square, even though the prototype is squared. It's very squared off. If you know what that door is, then you know. But I like that door. It's a vintage door. It does open. And I like the red, white, and blue. Need to get a window in it. It doesn't have window glass. I think we talked about that. That needs to be a seal, American Freedom Train seal. And then this is, I've been working with this height. So in here, there's got to be the American Freedom Train, or American, it says, it may just say America in there. These are our roof panels that are going to come out so you can get inside. And the rest of this will all be just light bluish gray slopes across the top. So this will be sloped, and then in the middle will be some roof vents and things like that. So, and then this is our door. We do have a door. It opens. I think I'm going to change that to a white train window. So it'll be the same panel, except it has the square cut out in it. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to change that to. It's kind of what I use on some of the other passenger cars. The door works. This plate needs to be white, so it carries on this. This on the original Freedom Train is black, and I modeled it here in black. I think I'm going to change it to blue. I don't know. It's my train. I can do what I want, right? So, and again, here we're talking about the length and then the height. And, you know, on camera it doesn't look so bad, and it'll be a little more height with the roof once the roof is in. I'm hoping that once I get the roof in place, it'll kind of fix that. But I would prefer these to be a little longer than they are. They were long cars. They were long Pullman and Pullman passenger cars and baggage cars. So these were big cars. These were no joke cars. So, and then some other layout maintenance or Lego City maintenance, we have to do is this section here. So this section here, as you look here, you can see there's a lot of ballasting in here. Of course, this is these are wood plates. These are 1x4 plates that I had a bag full of, and Dakota went ahead and put a wooden sidewalk in here, as he calls it. So that's, sorry Dakota, but that's got to come up. But we have our tan ballasting here, and if you go all the way around to here, you can see that we started putting in 1x1 rounds as the rocks for the ballast. And there is kind of a pattern here. You have light bluish gray, black, there's some browns, whites. Occasionally you'll find a gold nugget. And then the black ones, if you notice, they run right down the middle of the... So that's supposed to kind of represent dirt and oil and other things that would have just came out of the passenger cars that kind of run down the middle of the track. So there is a little bit of a madness. It's very random. In fact, I think Heather did most of this, and I don't know. It's always a judgment call as how much is too much and how much is not enough. So we started on putting the rock ballast in. Then we get into here, and then this is just the basic tan over the dark tan, which goes all the way to right here, and then it stops. So none of this section has had the tan put in. Well, I have the tan. Here's plenty of tan parts. But as you can see, this section is quite a mess. Any flat surface available for me to sit something on, I'm sitting it on. So, I don't look, bananas. So, we got to get that cleaned up, and then we got to get, we've even put some of these 2x16s, a couple of them pot up in there just to keep the track somewhat level. The train's going to kind of come off the track here if you're not careful. So yeah, I got to get that done, and we'll work on that, and we'll see how much of that we can get done. And I got one last little piece that I want to show you right here. This is a little bit of an interior of one of the cars. This would be the, oh, I forgot the name of the car now. Dang it, what was it? This is the, well, it's the bar car. So this is going to be the bar, and we got a little waiter in there. And again, this is the interior, so the walls are not there. Normally the interior would be done on a separate plate that would fit down in the car. Right now I'm just kind of playing, so you know, some people would call these scraps. These are just items that I've been building on my desk, and they're just kind of floating around. The other thing is this piano. We have a train mechanic, whatever, working on or playing the piano. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't like the colors. Whoops, don't like the colors. Don't like. But we're gonna do it. At any rate, the AFT crew, the people that traveled with the Freedom Train, they often said that this car was one of the hot spots. So you know, there was a bar and this piano, and the AFT crew made it kind of a thing to get that piano working. Apparently, it didn't work in the beginning. I'm not sure what the status was, but they got it working, so it became how they entertained themselves as they traveled from city to city. So that's an interesting little side note tidbit, and I think it'd be kind of cool. All these cars that I end up doing, the regular passenger cars, I'm gonna try and do as many interiors as I can. Sorry, Earl. I'm not sure how I'm going to get the conveyor belt to work through the other cars to do the displays, but I don't know. We'll see what we can do. And I noticed it in this video, because I've already edited some of this video, but these little markers show up in the background. And in fact, there's a whole row of them right over there. And before I get questioned as to what these are, they are milepost markers. And they have that little pyramid on top. So the L&N Railroad was notorious for having their mile markers have that little pyramid shape on top. I say notorious, known for, I don't know, it was their thing. So, at any rate, with the L&N Railroad being pretty prevalent around my neck of the woods, I decided to put these on the layout. So, oh look, there's some more of that ballast. So yeah, that's the yeah, those are not gravestones or anything else. Those are mile markers, and I have like a whole bunch of them. And I was going to put them around the layout, marking different sections of switches and bridges and things like that. So that's what those are, in case you were wondering. Okay, I think that's going to do it for this Mock Monday. I think we've covered quite a bit. Looks like we're probably going to hit about 20 minutes worth of stuff. So thanks for watching. So you've made it to the end of the line, the bar car, 203 for the American Freedom Train. It's one of the cars that was still in existence in the Mount Rainier Scenic Railroad. Since the pandemic, it has been closed. So, and with no scheduled reopen. So I fear another one of the train cars from the American Freedom Train has been lost to time.